Hello, hello. My name is Sharp Eyes,
And I am Crucifix.
and welcome to another episode of
WeCast.
Where You Play.
And WeCast.
Now, Crucifix, why do we cast games?
Because it's fun and we like to, and we're just so good at it. So, I mean, it would really be like, it would be almost, it's like Good Will Hunting. It would have been a disservice to humanity if he didn't apply his knowledge to the world. It would be a disservice to humanity if you and I didn't cast because of how amazing we are at it.
Nice vocal inflection there.
Thank you very much. See, I mean, that's just an example of just our raw gangsta skills.
Now, because we are gangsters, what does that mean for our viewers?
It means that they are also gangsters as long as they listen to our videos. So I hereby, like, a lot of people don't know this, but when a gang is, initiating a new member, they will recite like a poem of sorts to that new member. And here, like, this is what I'm going. This is to you viewers, to make you gangsters. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a gangster, and so are you. So there you go.
That was probably the worst poem I've ever heard in my entire life.
You try making up a poem like in 3 seconds, and let's hear your better version. Because I thought it was pretty good.
All right. Give me 3 seconds. Go ahead and count it down.
1, 2, 3.
That was not 3 seconds.
Okay. I'm patient.
All right. Gangsters are us. Gangsters are you. We all are gangsters. Now let's play some StarCraft 2.
Okay, that was pretty good. I don't. That was pretty good. Okay. Okay, I'm pressing play. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Looking like we have a 1v1 matchup here. With
a PvP.
yes, a PvP indeed. All right. Let's go ahead and introduce our players, shall we?
Okay. Well, in the upper right-hand corner, we have, as some people know him, Opezterran, which is very strange because he's a Protoss.
Now, do you think he's referencing the Pez dispenser or the Pez candy?
Opezterran. I have no idea. I think, well, a Pez dispenser dispenses. It dispenses Pez, right? So, so like it could be either one. I think in general he's just talking about how he is so good at Protoss that he stuffs Terrans into a Pez dispenser and then dispenses them.
That sounds very painful for Terran.
Exactly. I'm glad there isn't a Terran here, or else we would have to watch that. Now, who else is participating in this Game of Thrones, if you will?
Looking like the blue Protoss player spawning in the lower left-hand corner as Reviax.
Reviax. Now we are playing on Daybreak, which is a map that has since been removed from the map pool. A lot of people really liked this map, but it had just been around for so long that they said, you know what, it's time, and we've got to retire it. Just like all good things, they end eventually. Even though it's a pretty good map, they decided that they were going to replace it with all the new, fun, exciting maps that we're all playing on ladder today.
I honestly don't like the color palette of Daybreak.
No, it's not that exciting. Daybreak, it doesn't look that pretty, but the map itself is pretty good. I mean, it's balanced, I guess. It has a nice, easy to protect choke here for the natural expansion, which is good for all races. So. But oh wow! And we did see a probe go down in the next to the blue base, and we also see, wow, this is crazy. We do see a cannon rush of sorts. I can't believe we missed this. We saw a cannon rush go down. The pylon was deactivated by probes, and the second cannon was canceled on the low ground over by the blue base. But that does leave the blue player supply blocked, at least for now. But it doesn't really matter because the blue player is already in the supply lead. because of that because of the cannon rush that tried to go down, and the red Protoss did try to. Oh wow. Okay, so he did get that pylon canceled once again to try to kill this photon cannon that's still in the base but unpowered. And I'm surprised he doesn't leave at least a couple probes over there to kill that pylon. And I feel like if that pylon gets powered again at some point in the future, he could feel really sorry for not killing that right now. What do you think? Wow, and it's looking like the red player is going forward. He's getting his cybernetics core now that his cannon rush didn't work. He's getting his gateway. I mean, if you remember, the red player, even though he's had less probes, he has been mining the entire time. So, who do you think that the blue player, because of his ability to shut down that cannon rush, is in the lead, or do you think that the red player is still in the lead because of all the mining time that's been denied?
I honestly think that both players are quite even at this point, as the resources lost by the red player are balanced by the mining time loss of the blue player.
That is true, but I would say that just by the plain fact that the red player has 2 gateways and a forge, and the blue player only has 1 gateway and no forge, I would say that the red player is ahead just because of his extra production. I mean, he's able to make more, and he's able to get his upgrades if he can afford them. So because the resources lost is so even, I feel like the red player is ahead, but he is going to have to take advantage of that production and get something out before the blue player's stalker and Zealot get across the field. But I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem as long as I don't understand. I think the red player was chrono boosting a gateway that wasn't building anything. I'm almost positive that was happening. But in any case, it does look like 2 stalkers v1, and the Zealot is going to join the fight. But a Zealot and a stalker does not equal 2 zealots. So it is looking like the blue player is going to run away. This red player is trying to get the zealot here, trying to catch these 2 stalkers off position. The micro is pretty good from the red player. Is going to probably but he does lose that other stalker, and it's looking like it's looking like both of these stalkers are going to go down. But meanwhile, the red player should be producing something out of these 2 gateways that he has here. I guess he's waiting for his warp gate research to finish, but I don't know. Do you think that he should have been building units while this little micro battle is going on over here, or do you think it's a smart idea to wait for his warp gate to finish?
Are you talking about the red player or the blue player?
Well, the red player, he was not building any units while his he wasn't building any units, and now it's looking like the blue player is in his base with just quite a few stalkers. These probes might be enough. Oh wow! And the blue player says leave. He doesn't want any of this red player's shenanigans right now. And I guess we'll have to see if the red player can come back for this. Do you see the red player getting out of this, or do you think it's GG?
I do not see the red player getting out of this, as the red player opted for an econ follow-up, but the blue player just one based and got there.
Yep. Too much funning versus easy Nas. That doesn't make. I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's looking like. Honestly, the red player tried to cannon rush and it didn't work, and so then he went into a phase of, trying to recover from that. And honestly, he was in a good position to do it. He had an extra gateway and he had a forge on top of his opponent. Yes, the opponent did have more probes, but when you already have an extra gateway down, I feel like he could have been in a position to defend himself. But he didn't. Yeah, he didn't build what he needed. So I don't know.
He pretty much didn't expect that his opponent would be counterattacking. But you would think that cheesing someone would provoke them to attack you.
Exactly. I mean, if you cheese somebody and it doesn't work, what's your first reaction? Oh, it looks like immediately you'd think, well, I lost my units over in that cheese. They're probably going to come try to attack me. Let's try to build up as many units as I can to defend myself. At least, get some photon cannons at my own base, seeing as I tried to build so many at their base. But it doesn't look like he decided to do that, and that's probably what cost him the game here.
Absolutely. All right, let's do a post-game analysis here. What could the Protoss players have done better as a whole?
Well, the Red Terran, the Red Protoss, he actually put himself. I mean, I thought it was actually quite funny that his cannon rush, while it didn't do game-ending damage, it did do damage because he killed a pylon, which pylon blocked the blue Protoss for a very long time. It was the entire time it took the Protoss player to build another pylon, which you wouldn't think is that long, but it's a pretty long time in the beginning of the game. It's long enough for the Protoss player not to be able to get out a single unit for a good long time. And while that was happening, not only was the red player not pylon blocked, but he had an extra gateway. And even though he had less probes, he not only did he have less probes, he had an extra gateway, so he could have been building units. And he did build 2 stalkers, which he had over the stalker zealot that the blue player sent over to his base. So what the red player should have been thinking was, stay back, defend my base as much as I can, get out a mothership core, build up energy, make it so I can get that photon overcharge, be as defensive as possible because my cheese didn't work, but I'm still in a good position. But instead of doing that, he set himself in a position where he tried to chase that Zealot Stalker combo, ended up getting killed, and then wasn't building more units out of his gateways, waiting for his warp gate research to finish, and trying to get in more units than he had the gateways to get. And by that time, he already had 4 stalkers in his base and 4 more in a mothership core coming over. He put himself in a position where there was no way for him to recover, but he didn't have to be in that position. He could have been in a position where he was playing defensive. He had stalkers in his main and his natural. He was playing as he has these nexi, I guess you could call them, as a plural of nexus or nexuses. But in any case, he had these nexuses. You can get a photon overcharge if you have a mothership core out. He didn't build the right units when he needed to, and that led to his downfall. And yeah, the blue player, he responded how you're supposed to. Pull your probes, kill the pylon that's powering the photon cannon, make sure he can't build any more, get back to mining, and pressure as soon as possible. And I feel like the blue player responded how he was supposed to. Probably should have. He probably didn't need to pull all of his drones, and that led him into a position where he didn't have enough minerals to build what he needed to after the cannon rush was over. That led him into a position where he was a gateway behind. While that cannon rush was going down, he should have built a couple gateways behind it, a couple pylons, a forge, everything he would have needed to apply one base pressure. Because if your opponent is one basing and you think you can shut it down, the most powerful push you can do against that is to one base yourself, and take advantage of his failed attempt. So I think that's what both of those players could have done better.
Absolutely. I think that the red Protoss got a little greedy there and didn't expect that one base push. I think that he could have scouted at least a little bit.
Right. The fact that the red Protoss tried to cannon rush and then immediately expanded shows you how much he thought that the blue Protoss was just going to turtle. And it's not a good reaction because any good player will pressure as soon as possible after a cheese because that's when your enemy is the weakest. You don't want to give them the time to recover, and to expand immediately like that, to build a nexus instead of units is very bold, and I felt like that was what's costing the game because that's 400 minerals worth of nexus instead of 400 minerals worth of units. So that's one of those things that you have to balance, risk versus reward, and unfortunately, the reward in this game was a smack to the face. So
And a
that's
very
never a good reward,
painful smack, indeed.
indeed.
Alright, well, that concludes today's cast. My name is Sharp Eyes.
And I am Crucifix.
And until next time,
Keep on playing.
keep on playing. Indeed.
Indeed.
Now,
Peace.
now,
Oh, okay.
post note here.
Post note to the post game analysis.
If anyone would like us to cast your games, go ahead and just send your replays to WeCastSC2 at gmail.com.
Or alternatively, you can send them to WeCastSC2 at altavista.com, but we won't get it, and that doesn't exist. So don't get confused by what I just said, because that won't help you at all.
Well, actually, unless you're a time traveler and you're accessing this in the 90s.
That's true. If you are hearing this in the 90s currently, go to Alta Vista, because that's the bee's knees right now.
Bees knees indeed.
Indeed. But seriously, it's at Gmail.
WeCastSC2 at gmail.com. And that's a number 2 for all you fine folks out there.
Don't be spelling that too, because that's for weirdos.
Alright, once again, my name is Sharp Eyes.
And I'm Crucifix. Peace, guys.
And until next time.
Oh my gosh. Keep on playing.
Keep up playing. We want you to be playing those games.
As opposed... No, I'm kidding. Okay. Peace.
Alright. See y'all.